Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Arsenal have now set £25.8 million asking price for world-class 24-year-old. Arsenal are set to demand around £25.8 million for Takahiro Tomiyasu amid interest in the Japan international from Inter Milan. That's according to a report from Gazzetta dello Sport, which notes that the Gunners will not consider a loan exit for the right back. Takahiro Tomiyasu is one of the players facing a really tough task at the Emirates this season. The 24-year-old became something of a cult hero during his first year in North London. However, he has been unable to kick on since then. Tomiyasu has struggled with injury at times, and if you could have imagined just how good Ben White would be at right back last season, Arsenal have bolstered their fullback ranks further with the acquisition of Urian Timber. Timber looked really impressive on the left in Arsenal's Community Shield win over Manchester City at the weekend. Inter could offer Tomiyasu the chance to return to Serie A this summer. Gazzetta dello Sport reports that the Nerazzurri have the defender on their wish list as they look for reinforcement at the back. However, Arsenal will not entertain the idea of a loan deal. Instead, it's claimed that the Gunners want a fee of around £30 million. Mikel Arteta will not want to lose Tomiyasu. Arsenal will be looking to take that next step in the Premier League this year, but they also have the Champions League to contend with, so squad depth is going to be extremely important, and Ben White has previously labeled Tomiyasu world class, so he definitely has plenty to offer. Having said that, it would be a decent bit of business if Arsenal could make a profit on Tomiyasu, considering his current place in the pecking order. Whether Inter would be prepared to pay that amount remains to be seen. Arsenal refusing to release £140,000 a week player right now. Arsenal are now refusing to release forward Nicolas Pepe as he seeks an exit from the club. A report from the Express has shared more details as the 28-year-old attempts to end his tumultuous time at Arsenal. Like many Premier League sides, outgoings are likely to be the main focus for Arsenal before the end of the transfer window. Mikel Arteta is still trying to make new signings, such as goalkeeper David Raya. However, his squad is way too big right now, and several players need to move on before the end of the month. One of those players is Nicolas Pepe, who has yet to feature this summer. The Ivorian international picked up an injury at the end of last season while on loan with Nice. Despite that, it's unlikely Pepe would have been part of Mikel Arteta's plans going forward anyway. Pepe wants Arsenal to cancel his contract so he can move on, but the club are refusing right now. There has been talk all summer that Arsenal might allow him to go for nothing. However, the huge price the club paid for him back in 2019 is making it difficult for them to justify that decision. The report from the Express suggests Pepe's representatives have struggled to convince Arsenal to let him go for nothing this summer. Turkish side Besiktas are continuing to push for the 28-year-old but cannot afford a big transfer fee and will look at alternative target if he is not available for free. Arsenal have cancelled other players' contract in the past, but are refusing to give Pepe the same treatment. Further talks are reportedly scheduled with all parties, hoping a resolution can be found, as Pepe has already agreed personal terms with Besiktas. Arsenal could celebrate taking a player next year for £10 million and then insert £19 million buyback clause. Arsenal are in talks to loan Marquinhos to Ligue 1 side Nantes and give them an option to sign him on a permanent deal next year. The Gunners' focus right now, after agreeing a deal to sign David Raya, is on outgoings. They plan to move plenty of their players on, either on loan or permanent deals. Journalist Luca Bendoni of Team Di Marzio has shared the latest on Arsenal's plan for Marquinhos on X. Arsenal signed Marquinhos from Sao Paulo last year. The teenager quickly made a name for himself at the club, performing brilliantly for the under-21 side. He started against Manchester United by scoring a goal and providing a breathtaking assist in a 3-1 win for the young Gunners. Marquinhos also impressed on his senior debut. He scored a goal and provided an assist in the Europa League against Zurich, and he really did show signs of quality. However, he is just not ready to be a regular in the Premier League, which is why Arsenal loaned him out to Norwich City at the second half of last season. Now, Arsenal are in talks with Nantes over another loan deal. Bendoni claims the Gunners could give the French side an option to sign him permanently for £10 million next year, but with a buyback clause inserted in the deal for £19 million. The journalist tweeted, Arsenal winger Marquinhos will join Nantes on loan. Nantes will pay an initial loan fee of €300,000 and will cover a €500 net salary. Discussions ongoing on the final formula, whether to include or not an option to buy of €12 million and a buyback clause of €22 million. This would be a really smart bit of business from Arsenal. Edu signed young Marquinhos for just £3 million last year. If Nantes agree to buy him for £10 million at the end of next season, that would give the Gunners a great profit just 24 months after their initial investment. To add to that, if Marquinhos fulfills his potential and becomes a superstar, Arsenal will retain the option of bringing him back for just £19 million, which is nothing in today's market. It's unclear if Nantes would agree to those terms, but if they do, Arsenal would have pulled off a masterstroke. Arsenal just turned down £34.4 million bid for a frightening player. He is already agreed personal terms. Arsenal have rejected a bid for striker Balogun with his future still very much up in the air. Journalist Fabrice Hawkins has shared on Twitter X that French side Monaco have seen an offer turned down by Arsenal. The future of Balogun has been one of the big talking points of the summer for Arsenal. After a stunning season for Stade Reims last season, all eyes were on whether Mikel Arteta would reintegrate him into the squad. All the signs this preseason have suggested that looks unlikely to be the case. Balogun has barely featured this summer, despite Gabriel Jesus picking up an injury and requiring minor surgery. The arrival of Kai Havertz means Arsenal have another player who can play as a centre forward alongside Eden Ketia. Arsenal have now rejected a bid from Monaco for Balogun, but that might not be the end of the saga. The Gunners will want to find a solution this summer to sell one of their most exciting youngsters while his stock is so high. Posting on social media, Hawkins said, Arsenal turned down a nearly €40 million offer from Monaco for Balogun. The leaders of the Monaco will return to the charge. They have an agreement in principle with the player, but face competition from several clubs, including Inter Milan. Monaco have made a decent bid for the frightening forward, but with a few weeks left in the transfer window, Arsenal may feel they can extract more cash for the 22-year-old. The ideal scenario for Arsenal will be a bidding war breaking out between Inter and Monaco. However, both sides will likely have other targets they could pursue, and the Gunners won't want to price Balogun out of a move. Inter boss Inzaghi has admitted he is worried about his side signing Balogun this summer. That may mean that even though Arsenal rejected Monaco's first bid, the French Riviera could be Balogun's most likely destination. It will be interesting to see if he is included in the matchday squad on Saturday against Nottingham Forest. Arsenal now want to sell fantastic £25 million player this summer as Raya move edges closer. Arsenal now keen to sell Kieran Tierney in the transfer window as they look to balance the books a little after another busy summer at the Emirates. That's according to a report from The Times, which notes that the Gunners are closing in on spending another £25 million to sign David Raya from Brentford this summer. It has been apparent for a little while that Kieran Tierney may have to consider a move away if he wants to play regularly in the Premier League. The Scotland international is an outstanding player, and there were times where he looked destined to become the Gunners' future captain. Unfortunately, however, he does not suit the role Mikel Arteta wants his left back to play, and he fell behind Zinchenko in the pecking order last season. It was ominous that Jurriën Timber started on the left for the Community Shield, with Tierney coming on, and there have also been times when Takahiro Tomiyasu has played in that position too. The Times reports that Arsenal now need to sell players after a £500 million net spend under Mikel Arteta. The likes of Rob Holding, Folarin Balogun, and Nuno Tavares could leave. Meanwhile, the Times claims that Arsenal want to sell Tierney amid interest from Newcastle. Tierney is one of the players who could command a substantial fee. Arsenal being willing to let him go has little to do with the £25 million star's ability. Arteta has previously labelled him fantastic, but he is at Arsenal at the wrong time in some respect, and if he does get the chance to move on, there is every chance that he is going to be an outstanding signing for someone. Journalist says £20 million forward on Arsenal radar wants to leave. Arsenal have been linked with one of Brazil's best up-and-coming strikers in the past few weeks. In July, FT reported that the Gunners had been keeping tabs on Santos forward Marcos Leonardo. That article also claimed that Arsenal were weighing up whether to make a move for the 19-year-old. Arsenal have bolstered their ranks considerably this summer. However, they are yet to bring in attacking reinforcement. Although Kai Havertz can play in attack, it looks as though Gunners boss Mikel Arteta is looking to use him in midfield. However, on the subject of Leonardo, the Gunners appear to have fallen behind in the race for him. Rudy Galletti has posted a tweet regarding the current state of play between front-runners Roma and the player. Initially, it looks like a boost for Arsenal as Leonardo is apparently not wanting to train as he wants to leave. However, the teenager only wants to join Roma according to Galletti. You can't help but feel that if Arsenal were to step in and formalize their interest, they could blow their fellow suitors out of the water. As per Gazzetta dello Sport, via Football Italia, the Italians are pushing ahead with a bid totaling around £15.5 million. Santos reportedly want around £20 million for Leonardo, even though he apparently has an £86 million release clause. Arsenal could well step in with a £21 million, get the club's approval, and then try a charm offensive to convince him to come to N5. He'd have Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Magalhaes, and Gabriel Martinelli plus Edu to take him under their wing. Leonardo is a top talent who has been likened to Sergio Aguero and deemed an extremely dangerous forward. 27-year-old player's agent is in London today. He is about to sign for Arsenal. Arsenal are moving ever closer to completing the signing of David Raya with the news that his agent is now traveling to London. The update via journalist Luca Bendoni said that Monel, Raya's agent, is arriving in London on Wednesday to complete the remaining paperwork. Bendoni shared the update on X and confirmed that the contract runs until June 2028, all for a fee of £28 million. This is undoubtedly excellent news for Arsenal, who have held interest in Raya for almost 3 years, and although Arsenal fans seem pretty split on the transfer itself, they will surely be happy that the club are executing their target. The division on the transfer stems from the position it leaves Aaron Ramsdale. Whilst it's commonly recognized that adding a player of Raya's caliber to your team is a good thing, it's a delicate situation where it may upset another. Ramsdale is thriving in an Arsenal shirt, and fans don't want to see their 25-year-old, who still has a huge potential, be displaced. Of course, if the report on Raya's agent arriving at Arsenal today is true, Arsenal's squad will ultimately be stronger. And it's clear that Mikel Arteta is trying to create an elite environment with genuine competition for places in all areas. It seems the best way to allay any fears of Ramsdale one day being dropped is that would mean a new signing Raya would be thriving. Yes, There may be some tough emotional decisions to make at times, but Arsenal fans can surely trust Arteta to get it right. Arsenal are aiming to go one better this season and win a league title, and they have to improve to do so. When you look at title winning sides in the league of late, there have been disgruntled players thinking they deserve more minutes. It's the reality of an elite club. If Arsenal's talks with Raya's agent are concluded today and the keeper signs, then Arsenal fans should welcome the added competition. Raya could be another step to achieving something huge. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.